register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, TomTom's Breathe For It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, TomTom's Breathe For It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, TomTom's Breathe For It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, TomTom's Breathe For It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, TomTom's Breathe For It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon. One day, one show.
Beyond your wildest imaginations, it's going to be epic.
Let's talk music production, mixing and mastering, entertainment law and streaming with the industry's finest.
Oya go to Agbo, Oya go to Year. Join us live 1 p.m. March 24th, 2022.
Make sure that you register.
Be a part of the conversation. Remember to register with the link below. Tag your friends and folks to be a part of it.
Comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Tom Tom's Breed for It Summit is coming soon.
Billy. I want they. They don't want me to prosper. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Wani mo lagidi, bon de lo pa Saddam. Mo le pomo Nasir, ain't talking Remy Salam. Mo so Nasir la ma, think pe malam. Allow me breathe, niggas. Am I checking for? Flow with a lot of ease, niggas, what you hating for? I will not stop, you niggas will not breathe. But my line's gone, I'm packing enough heat. One is share bad gun, but shit sound enough beat. Tiba ever but crown gun, it will not fit. Grown man only, cause a kiddie vision. Only place to marry me, only television. This kids say they hustling, they say they getting money. But y'all be smoking on man, that shit is really funny. You talk about getting bitches like I ain't getting none. You talk about counting money like I ain't counting nothing. Let's talk about the Gucci's, Giuseppe's and Ferragamos. Versace belt firm enough to hold my fucking abu. I one day, they don't want me to prosper. Assalamu alaikum, don't call me just proper. I one day. They don't want me to prosper. Assalamu alaikum, don't call me just proper. I one day. They don't want me to prosper. Assalamu alaikum, don't call me just proper. Hustle. We get my money up. Still trying to get my money up. But you already knew that. Yeah. One man soldier. Yeah. But my car giddy. Do it for my. When I was young, I heard people preach about Jesus. Word was give to Caesar what is Caesar's. I see the go, I got my hustle on my shoulders. Jejani Mulome, Anirokun Akuba. Steady on my grind, I focus for many reasons. Been here a couple years and I'm prepping for more seasons. My girl's my motivation, though my mommy, you should see this. Word to Almighty Allah, because He sees this. He sees it all, what's above and what's beneath me. Lone ship amongst the wolves, so yet He shits me. Automatically, but why they can't defeat me. Cornerstone levels, they hate me, then they big up to all the girls I dated. Whether you gave me peace or had me aggravated. Took a minute before I made it. That's the reason I get up on my ass. I hustle like I never made it. For my shoulder. Thank you. Hustle.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, Tom-Tom cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.
Summit brought to you by TomTom. Today we are going to be discussing about Afrobeats. We're going to be discussing about the journey, where it is and where it's going. Today I have some very interesting people with me. To my right is Excel Joab, who is a music exec. To his right is Onyekosola Fawoyimi, aka Foza Doza, who is a lawyer and a music exec. To her right is Osage Alonge, who is a media and marketing professional. To his right is Focus Ramon, who is a veteran sound engineer and music producer. My name is Motolani Alake. I'll be your moderator for the day. I'll be asking some questions, discussing with my guys, and hopefully you guys can get some feedback. You guys can join the conversation on social media, hashtags Breed for It Summit and hashtag BFIS 2022. My first question is going to go to Osage Alonge. You have been in the media for a long time. How would you describe how Afrobeats got to this level?
It's a combination of a few things. Of course, the talent. So the amazing people who have been creating music. But you also have to look at the people who have also driven the culture and not just the music itself. So the music producers, the video directors, and the other people in the creative space who have collaborated with these artists to push, the culture, basically. But everything has primarily been driven by technology. So once, there's a new burst of technology, you see that the sound, the culture is further propagated. I'll give an example. Back in 1999, if an artist was to drop an album, he probably dropped it on a cassette tape, right? And could only circulate that cassette tape in his locality or his country at most. To put in context, Tony Tetwila sold 1 million copies of his second album, primarily in Nigeria. But today, if a Reminisce, for example, was to just drop, a single, I could be in Singapore and listen to it the very moment the song drops. So technology has been able to drive, the culture because more people can see it and experience it.
Thank you for that fantastic response. Very concise as well. Guys, we just got joined in the studio by a superstar recording artist, award-winning artist.
I've been around since.
Reminisce Alaga. How are you, Aga?
I'm fine, thank you. It feels great to be here with. I have history with almost everybody apart from. Well, we have history. We have mutual. We have a couple of mutuals. So I have history with almost everybody here. It feels good to sit here with everybody. Focus, Sasage, everybody. Feels good to be here.
Feels good to see you as well. The next question is going to go to you. Interesting. Okay. What would you say is the role of artists in the entire journey of Afrobeats? How important have they been? What touch points have they put down in the history and the evolution of the genre?
Artists are primarily the drivers now. Artists are the drivers of the culture. I think Afrobeats. I like to say Afrobeats as the vehicle, and we serve as the drivers. You drive, reach your own bus stop, you come down. Another set of drivers come in, and you get so. Artists as drivers have, we've had different, generations, different people, different styles, different. You understand? So I think. Well, people will continue. People don't start. You understand? Osage would, would be able to talk about this better because he has been documented. But some people have been driving since, the late 90s, and some people just begin to drive now. You understand? So I just like to say artists are the drivers of, the culture. Afrobeats being the vehicle. So. At one point in time, driver go stop. But some driver no degree come out. Like Two-Face now, Baba does the driving trailer they go and sounds kind of peaceful. Some drivers no degree come out. Some drivers will say, I'm going to drive this thing. So that's how I like to describe, the whole process here.
Thank you for the insights. You mentioned something interesting about like sound and the evolution of sound and how artists have been able to contribute to the journey. Focus Ramon, you're a producer. And sound engineer, you've been in the industry for a while. Could you give us a brief breakdown, a compact breakdown of how the sound has evolved, basically, and how producers have played a key role in the journey?
Long answer or short answer?
Semi-long.
Okay. So if the artists are the drivers, then the producers, the engineers are like the conductors.
I agree, 1,000.
So we work hand in hand, right? Every there's a sound. It's like different ingredients in the soup, right? So you have the artist doing his thing. The artist is obviously the face. People connect to a face, but people move to sound. like your body, right, can move to the sound. So yeah, like, I mean, everything has improved, to be honest. And I kind of feel like this might be controversial, but I kind of feel like the producers are very largely responsible for a lot of the success that we have. No, wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be hot. Sorry to cut you short. You can join the conversation on social media. Hashtag Brief for It Summit. Hashtag BFI 2022. We can continue.
So this is why I think so. But I'm not undermining the role of the artist in any way. No. It's facts. We have, production, right? That's the sound. Yeah. The sound determines it's like when you say disco, for instance, or you say makossa, or you say rap, hip hop, anything at all. You can kind of see the sound, right? When you talk about an artist, yes, there's many artists, but they fall within that pool, right? Okay. Now that pool is the sound, and producers create the sound. Engineers also are. Engineering is such an underrated. I wouldn't say underrated. Yeah, well, underrated. But engineering is such an underrated part of the process. But then again, I think it's as it should be, because like, I mean, you use your iPhone, you don't see the engineers that are building and designing that. It's just for you to enjoy and use. But yeah, like I'm happy with where we are so far. Everybody's coming correct. That's one thing. Producers started coming correct earlier.
Okay. Osak, still speaking on the sound, right? You have a podcast, right? The Music in Time, where you go back in time and talk about the sounds and the music that defined where we are currently. If you were going to talk about the sounds that have impacted, right? If you were going to pinpoint them in time, what sounds would you point to? The genres, basically.
I think the most important genre that has inspired and influenced Afrobeats is hip hop. And that's because, and I'm talking about every kind of sound right now. The contemporary sound, so from 1999, is largely hip hop. And that's because everybody was consuming hip hop in the 90s. We all grew up on hip hop. Yeah. So if you look at any of your artists from that era, right, they would naturally interpolate hip-hop music with Nigerian music. So if it was Maintain, or if it was Black Reverence, or if it was Paul Play, any of the guys would take hip-hop music and then remix it with Nigerian sounds. And that's how they were able to like push the music, right? So I think hip-hop music is one of the biggest sounds that has inspired Afrobeats.
Man, thank you for that. Thank you for that fantastic response. I'm going to go to like the technocrats, our technocrats in the building. First, I'm going to go to Foza. So we talk about Afrobeats to the world a lot, but we can see the direct influence away from the sound, from the artists, like from the business side. How some form of finances, it's still not great, maybe not, but it's gotten better than where it was 10 years ago. How would you say the journey and the success of Afrobeats, or the increased success of Afrobeats, has impacted like the finance and the business and the dreams for like being able, from the perspective of being able to make the music, or like being able to put money in certain pockets?
First of all, I would like to say that it's so nice to see Reminisce in person, and he looks very fresh in person.
Oh, really?
It's just all right, okay. So for the business part of things, I think things started really picking up for the hype started getting backed by money, and real money, like properly 7 years ago. And it's because structures. So when people come and say we have no structures, I always find that very annoying, because for you to make money, there's some form of structure. You can argue and say the structure is inefficient. You can say it's not effective, but there's a structure. Yeah. So about 8 years ago, 7 years ago, many people, not just because management then really was just your close friend comes, gets on the road with you, learns on the job, and blah, blah, blah. But 8 years ago, we started seeing a wave of people from professional backgrounds becoming extremely interested in the industry. So you see lawyers, right? Directly from my own side is the lawyers, and it started like a spiral, effect on things, and that led to us doing a lot of mathematics, being forced to have a lot of financial conversations. We all know like the background of money coming into the industry really was either through I'm trying to be politically correct today. Either through that kind of money. That was kind of
What kind of money, Foza? Do you want to?
What kind of money?
Like it was either
want
like
to learn.
it was like money laundering happening.
Money
Or
laundering
like
on Yahoo.
And so there was
Very
really
specific here.
yeah. So there was really
Yes.
no accountability going on. So we weren't focused on making profit as an industry, right? So now we have a lot of business people in the industry now trying to get to the economics, trying to figure out what the economic unit is, how does it translate from cost to revenue to profit. One of the biggest problems we find is that we incur so much cost as an industry and we're not figuring out like profit. So you see, I think about 5 years ago, the real wave for what we have now, where you see some people are signing for one song, you're seeing $100,000 deal, is because one company, which was led by a group of business people, built that company to the extent that they were able to raise 20 million. And that spiraled, like everybody came in and was like, oh, if these people are raising 20 million to work in Africa, in Nigeria, then there's something to look at. If you look at it after then, we had Sony around, we had some other people around, but it was just, they were trying to figure out what was going on. So basically what they were doing, it was just like shell companies. That's what I'll define it as. But when that company raised that money, every other person came in and was like, all right, it's time to focus. And I was reading the IFPI reports yesterday.
Yeah.
The recorded industry for Africa has grown by 9.7% growth, which is like the largest growth we've seen in 10 years.
Yeah.
And we're beginning to enter into conversations in the market, because the biggest problem then was there's this hype, but there's no money being made on the continent.
Generation.
On the continent. So people are shelling in money and everybody's stopping and saying, but I'm not seeing my money back. So there's this success, but the money is not making sense. But now with that report we read yesterday, is amazing. And for me, the next 5 years is also going to be amazing, because publishing is about to take off significantly, as in doing it properly, not the fake things we're doing right now.
Yikes.
But like doing it properly, and that's really like the reservoir pension for creatives. And the stakeholders are getting richer. We thank God.
I picked up 4 points from what you said. That was a very robust answer. One, that there's a structure. Number two, that a structure is working. Number three, the industry is growing. Number four, publishing. I'm going to come back to some of those things that you raised. Excel, I'm going to go to you. She spoke about publishing, and publishing now, basically, you can't have some size of publishing without something that we call music streaming. How would you describe the role of music streaming in the contemporary time, say over the past 7 years in the Nigerian music industry?
7 years.
Yeah.
It has improved. It has improved. We've seen a lot of improvements. We've come from a place where we used to holla online and be like, please stream the music, don't download from a blog.
Shout out to Foza Doza.
To now everybody waking up and people saying, oh, I have the #1 album on this, on this platform. An artist, Black Bones, literally had a campaign where he was stream Haba. Like the stream was there. He consciously passed a message to the audience that any other thing you do, download it doesn't help me. Stream it. So the streaming culture has greatly improved. There are a lot of factors that have aided this. The rise of internet culture. Nigeria also has a very young population.
Yeah.
So that's helping a lot. There was also conscious efforts. I've always credited people in the alter scene.
Yeah.
That, when they came up, they had this whole SoundCloud movement they were doing. And that kind of made a lot of people. I saw traditional Nigerian blogs, right, putting SoundCloud links.
Yeah, that was very
on
interesting at the time.
their blogs, and that was because these author kids were popping so hard that it was like blogger, you need clicks.
Yeah.
So if someone is popping, you just gotta be there. There's no excuse. So streaming has greatly improved. We're seeing some ridiculous numbers.
Yeah.
Some ridiculous numbers on.
Foza. Foza.
We're seeing some ridiculous numbers, and we're also seeing like a lot of engagements. Even the DSPs themselves have, shout out to them, they've done their best to also put money in this market, support artists both digitally and offline.
Yeah.
So we've seen progress.
This year, I believe, like globally, there was a spike in the amount of physical sales of CDs across the world, right? So it's not just streaming anymore. We're talking about the fact that the music itself is growing. Nigerian artists, they are selling vinyls now. It's a thing. It's becoming a thing. It's becoming a culture. Shout out to Excel for opening that. So my next question is going to go to Reminisce. We are talking about why the space is growing, the ecosystem is growing. But what is it? What makes the thing? Why is everybody so interested in it? Why is it such a hot commodity right now? Why?
First off, because like she mentioned earlier, returns. I think I kind of understand the era she was talking about when there was a lot of noise, and these guys would ask, what's going on in Africa? Like, there's noise, but you should judge it. You understand? But right now, I mean, like, be like the whole industry don't call it advanced as it be now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that includes yours faithfully. Yeah.
Come on,
so
talking about
so and it feels great. And apart from getting this, it's not a privilege. It's your stuff actually. It's just you being handed your stuff, up front. So I try to tell young kids that don't see this as a gift. You have to work for it. You have to see it as a loan that you have to pay back. And as quickly as you can as well. You understand? So you can move on to the next, whatever you have to do. It's just something, you just have finances you need to, you are supposed to use to, do certain things that you wouldn't be able to do normally, as an independent artist. So, I mean, it feels great now that these guys are coming in and pumping the money. And of course, money is the
driving.
Now, at least, before it used to be like 90% Yahoo money, 10%, whatever. So 90% of the industry before, of the videos we see for TV, they're not looking for returns. That's that's honest. That's the fact here. Yeah. I don't know if all of us are willing to admit.
It's a fact.
Like 90% of the videos you see on TV, we know, all of us here know they're not looking for returns. It's just a means of
promotional
cleaning and all that. Yeah, washing. So now I think it has, with these guys coming in, I think it has increased to like 30% now. I think I'll be 30 seeing like 30 genuine, people trying to do business. But there's still 70 that is there's still 70, which is okay.
Yeah.
It's in the people we are trying to be like as well.
Bro,
it's
even theirs is not.
It's way worse. It's in their system as well. It's even good for the ecosystem because some of us really like to collect our money for features and all that. So it's good. You understand? For the ecosystem, it's good. There has to be a balance, but I think that we still need the genuine guys to get to like 50%, when there's like a proper balance, 50 Sarah, 50, then good.
I love it.
Okay. My next question was going to go to Focus, but Foza was about to raise an objection to one of Excel's point the other time. Is it a problem that a bunch of the streams for the most successful Nigerian songs are not coming from here? Or the healthiest amount of revenue that Nigerian artists are getting, they are not coming from here in a country of 200 million people? Is it a problem? Because, sorry, before you answer, when you consider like other developing parts of the world where maybe YouTube is growing because of Latin America, for example, or in India, for example, or in the Middle East, where like a music streaming platform is really, really popping off. I don't want to mention the music streaming platform here. Is it a problem?
So let me give you an example. I have this album we created like 7 years ago that, none of the artists have blown yet, but that album was doing $300 every other quarter. So I'm having generator money and stuff. That's why I just woke up last month or last week. And I was like, $1? What happened? And I went to check. They switched off, there's a lot of the platforms switched off from Russia. my highest stream was coming from Russia. There was just one YouTube guy that was using one song from the album, and that was what was making money. So for me, in that moment, it flashed before my eyes that what was still at the mercy of the world. And it's we pray it gets better, but the getting better, the GDP is not our responsibility as an industry to fix. So which is an external threat to us. Now, if that doesn't get fixed, we are still at the mercy of the world. So we can have. So me personally, that 200 million of phone, me, I used to feel like it's not a right number. It's just a political number.
It actually is. I'm going to let you finish. I have some.
Like, I sometimes still use a political number, but if you see us as an industry, we're not even tapping up to 1% of that 200 million. And for me, it's always a problem because I'm one of those people that God has said you are not going to leave this country. You are going to make all your money here. So we don't have any choice but to we're not jackpotting. So every day I look at it and say, hey, God, when is this going to get better?
Make I follow.
The GDP of the country has to get better for things like the streaming in here. If not, so we still have another 10 years before we get there to say an artist comfortable that is big in the Southeast and only the Southeastern people stream and is comfortable with that to earn money from. Now, those people that are big in the Southeast and make money from Southeast are those that do live performances there. So, they're leaving. But until we get to that point, my dream is that, as an industry, we get to the point where you don't have to be the number one artist in the country for you to be making.
Thank you very much.
I'm not thinking that you want to go and, you want to go and clean somewhere 9 to 5, then go and do music. That's my dream. That you have a healthy catalog and just do the thing you love and make a per capita living. And that depends on the GDP as Africa itself. So that's that one. So we are going to keep doing our work and pray that the leaders do right.
We're going to come back to the issue of the leaders. Reminisce, did she answer the question? Ada?
Yes, she did. I was also going to add that you see this whole streaming thing. There's a lot that we tend to get wrong, and I want to address this. I've always wanted to say this. Like, we measure these things too much by just 2 platforms, and I think it is very, very unfair. It is very, very unfair, very elitist. Not to concern me, I'm a beneficiary of all. I'm a beneficiary of all systems, from the old school CD era to this era. I'm still top 10 in at 41. I'm cool, bro. I'm cool.
Cool
cat. I'm fine. You understand? But we tend to measure these things by just 2 platforms. You understand? I don't know if it's cool to mention names. I don't know if it's cool. Is it cool to mention names? Streaming platforms?
As your brand.
Streaming platforms. No, I'm going to talk streaming platforms.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, say you measure, you say, you're number 1 on Apple Music. Okay, I'll give you an example. I have a song out at the moment now. This song on one platform, on 2 platforms, 5 million, 4.1 million. On Spotify, it's 412,000. So how do you judge that? On Apple Music, it's over 4 million. On Spotify, it's 412,000. So how do you judge that? So if you judge me on Spotify, I'm not successful. But if you go to Apple Music, I'm hot. If you go to Audiomack, I'm hot. You understand? So you can't, we tend to, you say, once you're on Apple Music. So what about Boomplay? You understand? What about these other platforms? How do you, YouTube Music? There has to be, you guys, you especially, you and Excel, you need to come up with a way to, measure these things accurately. And, there has to be a balance. You can't measure an artist's success on 1 or 2 platforms and say, because you're number 1 this week on this number 1, so which means you have the big, come on, bro. The difference, let me even break this thing now. The difference between these people, I have time, well, I'm unemployed. Yes, I'm unemployed. I'm daddy daycare, so I'm unemployed. I have time. The point is, if you have a number 1 song now, your song is number 1 on whatever platform, you're probably doing 200,000 streams a day. I'm number 7, I'm doing 192,000 streams a day. It's just 6,000 streams difference. But a lot of people don't understand this. It's not, it's not so much. So at the end of the day, we need to start measuring I mean, Osagi, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need to
Start
we should-
stressing more
Yeah.
importance around
More imp-
music, not
yeah.
tie them to chatting.
Yeah, and even if you're going to tie them to chatting is fine, of course.
Yeah,
Now, bragging rights.
put more context to it.
Yeah, not just one platform, two platforms, one platform, two platforms, and some people have. Okay, I've been doing a study as well. There are some songs that are big now, Nigerian songs that are big globally. You hear the Spotify 62 million. Yeah. You go to Apple Music, it's less than 4 million. You know, Kilo Nana Biba. I don't know if you get me.
I do.
Right?
I do.
So we need to look for better ways to measure these things and
To
some people have
quantify.
started-
yeah,
some
and
people-
quantify.
So, guys,
That's the right
some
word.
people
Yes,
have
quantify.
started
Guys,
Because they're confusing sometimes. Because see one person is 62 billion stream.
What is
But
the
about your own
general?
Apple Music,
What
you
is
will
the
fall with
general
that, you know,
yardstick
Shele.
everybody's going to
Guys,
use?
you have to hold that thought. We have to go on a break right now. Remember, guys, the conversation is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Join the conversation on social media. You can send us questions. You can send us comments. Hashtag Breathe for It Summit. Hashtag BFIS 2022. The next week we're going to go on right now. We're going to speak about the Breathe for It Summit 2.0. It's basically a project by TomTom that speaks about that aims to promote upcoming artists, give them a platform, give them a way to make music, connect them to high quality music producers, maybe like Focus Ramon here, for example, to get them up and help them do something. The last winner of this was Manila Push, and he has an upcoming record with Rema. You guys can see more on this upcoming commercial.
For those who dare to breathe for it. Breathe for It Verse Challenge 2.0 coming soon.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded, and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep TomTom cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm. Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded, and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep TomTom cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.
For those who dare to breathe for it.
Sometimes before I
Breathe
step
for It
on
Verse
stage,
Challenge 2.0
my mind gets clouded,
coming soon.
and it feels like I'm on a different stage. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep TomTom cooling breath.
Somebody here, we know some people here are paying money, hefty amounts to music producers right now. What would
You
you
should.
focus? I'm getting somewhere.
What don't I? What did Chanche get no?
I'm getting somewhere. How would you describe the money that's flowing in the music industry right now? Is it affecting the music producers as we think it is?
Oh, of course.
Mm.
Bro, there's just a bigger pool, right? Like we can just do things better. It's like when you see a Hollywood movie and you see that they use $200 million, right, to shoot a movie, but then that thing makes $1 billion in a weekend, right? So the more resources you have, the better you can. The quality, bro. You listen to the quality of our sounds now, like just as recent as like 2014, right? listen to the quality of the production and the mix. Let me not even say, let's say the technical quality of the music that we're making in 2014 compare it to what we're doing in 2022 is worlds apart. Right? So, and that's because like we have access to better gear, better everything, better training, better. So like with more investment, it just helps to make things. And as Nigerians, bro, we don't sleep, we don't play. Give us small thing like this, what we'll do with it. Understand? So yeah, like it's been a good thing. This is a very good time.
Yeah.
This is a good time to be here.
Thank you very much for that. It's very simple, but I like where you took it. Guys, I made a very slight error the other time. So it's not Breed for It Summit, it's Breed for It Verse 2.0. My next question is going to Osage Alonge. You and Reminisce were talking before we went on our break, talking about like how people like to focus on certain streaming platforms and exclude the other ones. A lot of it has to do with the fact that we don't have a bull chatting system. That's what it is. And some people are trying to do it, but it feels like the amount of support that we're gathering from the industry is not exactly what it is. It's a problem because everybody we try to work in silos. How would you evaluate that in terms of building structures like a streaming platform? I mean, a chatting system.
That's a very good question. I think the first thing to do is you have like a couple of young people, trying to build something.
Shout out to Jay-Z.
Shout out to Turntable Chats and co, the good guys there. But I think, while they're doing that, I think I'll take a two-pronged approach. And the first approach is you have to educate people why it is important to actually build a chatting system. Everything is driven by, everything right now is driven by money. Or the outcome of money. What do I stand to gain? If I put my time and effort in this thing, is money coming out? And that's so everybody's, motivated by the outcome. And most times people are optimized for finances, right? So if you kind of, re-educate people about the importance of having a chatting system and the long-term approach, or the long-term benefits of having a chatting system, you would have a buying of more people, and you even have like pseudo ambassadors, people who are driving it and are contributing to it and are promoting it, right? So that's the first thing. I think the second thing is you also have to have the musical institutions and the right. So the national orientation, Nigerian National Orientation Body, COSON, EMPAN, and the other bodies. don't mind Rem. So all these guys need to come together, right, and have some sort of conversation, and then agree, right, and then write a white paper. This is what usually happens in other industries. If you want to have a new sort of payment processing plan or how Bitcoin was even adopted, you write a white paper describing it and explaining the process, and everybody then starts to adopt it. So it goes beyond just creating it. First you have to educate people, then bring all the stakeholders in.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that.
I have something to say.
Oh yeah, you can contribute to
what
that.
I agree with Osage, but everything he said is secondary.
Okay.
The primary thing is, first off, let me talk for myself. Me, I don't recognize any chatting system because these guys have their fan bases or they have whatever cultist groups to go and hijack the whole thing and manipulate it. So I don't recognize any chatting, whatever, right now, going on right now. We all know what I'm talking about here.
Stream farming.
You understand? We all know what I'm talking about here. They hijack the whole thing and, somebody, hijacks it, pays, Secondly, what Osage said there, the guys he mentioned, the customers, they need to fix. You understand? We need to fix ourselves first. You understand? I say this all the time that we as Nigerians, we try to shy away from what we forget that our society, what affects us in society, will reflect on every sphere of our lives. You understand? This whole civil service, whatever that we condemn online, is affecting our music right now.
Absolutely.
That's why we can't figure out the chatting system. You understand? We have a genre that is booming globally.
Point. That's a fantastic point.
Figure out the chatting system because we don't carry civil service enter. as young as we are, you understand, we can't still figure stuff out. We can't figure a collective society. We can't figure. I have to say this. You're calling now. Collective society can't fix this. Since fight, yeah. Young people are working to fix everything. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. Like, so how long will it take to, we can't even, I mean, look what we're talking about. We're talking about a genre that is, you understand,
making
and
millions
we
of
can't
dollars
even,
globally.
we can't even figure out how to chat.
For
You
context.
understand? Folks are
Yeah.
like, we can't figure out how to chat.
So the main problem, right, is, and it's affecting every other industry, save for like maybe the finance industry, right, is the infrastructure is bad. So if Reminisce's music plays on a radio station in Nasarawa, right, he has no idea if it has played or not. There's no...
Except they tweet. Maybe they tweet. Maybe
Yeah,
they have,
they-
maybe the station has
yeah.
Twitter. and I'm
Can I
like,
jump in here?
Yeah.
So there are companies that monitor like that. So
Which company, please?
Turntable, for example, tracks. So there's a company called Radio Monitor. It's not as large as possible, right? But if your song, so there's also another body that tracks music where it's played across radio, the number of times it's getting played, and measures the amount of audience you gain on particular radio stations across the country. So when they are measuring some of those things, the amount of impressions, you also see it. But the problem is,
What fan base do they work for?
So and it's a
That's a very good. That's a very
it's
that's a
valid-
valid.
You know, we all know what I'm
it's
talking
a,
about
it's
here.
a valid
objection.
it's valid feedback, because like from Rem's perspective now, he feels like, some of the people curating this music have certain biases towards
Certain other people.
certain artists. And to be very honest, these are new age artists. So I would say the 5th and 6th generation Afrobeat artists, right? And so he has his thoughts and his feelings are very valid.
I mean, that's a very fantastic one. Foza, I was going to go to Excel before, but I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come to you. You are going to contribute to this. So we are talking about some of these problems, but it's also because someone proposed something fantastic to me some years ago. Fantastic idea in the sense that we have a structure, but we need to crown it with kings and operators in a revolving door. So that means you elect certain people into a body. They manage some elements in the industry. That includes like lobbying, laws, reforms, and some of these other things. And then after 4 years, they get elected out. A new body comes in, right? Is it possible to build something like that? And is it even going to work?
So, from someone that is in the trenches right now trying to figure that
Grind.
out,
Yeah.
like Reminisce said, it's a reflection of our society, and it's a reflection of baby boomer generation. It's really
Shots fired.
Their generation is hold it till it crumbles. There's no succession plan with them. So when someone comes in and says, "Oh, this thing you're doing is fantastic," yeah, we know you suffered. I mean, I'm building a business now, and I know the suffer I'm suffering. And if you come in and want to put money in my business, I will explain the history to you.
Is this one to Kosa? Is this Kosa you're talking about?
So, like, I'm politically correct this year. Reminisce, I'm trying to raise money. So, if you're coming, but the difference for me is that if you come to me and say, "I'm going to give you $100 million, and you're going to reduce your shares to 10%, and you're going to manage for 10 years," I would take a deal like that, because I'm no longer in the mentality of, first, I have to be the first to do it, because they don't give a word for that. 2, I have to die with it, like I want to be a CEO. Because when people stay on that mountain for so long, a lot of things suffer, which is what is wrong with a lot of our institutions. The fact that there's no succession plan, and music is no exemption. We've tried it. And a lot of these institutions that we have, the MCS and the COSON, they done grant. COSON has like 4,000 something members that down to Nasarawa and Taraba that some of us have never been to. They have chapters in there. Now, if you come in and say you want to build another collecting society, you first have to, according to what the law provides, you have to do that work.
360.
So the question is, why do you want to do that work at that time when you can just come in and say, which, like you said, a revolving door, which is, okay, let's handle this part, let this person handle this part, let's handle this part. Right now, there's so much, it's so exhausting. Because we have so many goodwill people that I've tried, come like, yo, let's fix this thing. But it's just a fight you're just looking at. It makes no sense. And it's the baby boomer generation. I'm sorry, it's a societal problem. It's just like, even when you're doing normal business with them, they cheat you. You're trying to close these deals that we're doing, these advanced deals. We tell them we're going to give you $100,000. You know, you're supposed to spend increase your catalog. These niggas.
Continue.
Sorry, these people go out. They I've seen people where we finished the 100,000 deal today. 2 days later, they're coming. What are they doing? What do you mean? What are they doing? They've given you the money to go and do the work, you know. And they make it the same behavior they bring is so problematic that it's also affecting some things. So yes, and which is when I said publishing in the next 7 to 8 years, what's happening now is all the biggest songs that we have right now. The pension, publishing is pension.
Yeah.
The pension doesn't sit in the continent.
No, it doesn't.
All the money is either with PRS or BMI or SACE.
Yeah.
And it's even, I've had conversations with, you know, the French embassy, with the British embassy, the American embassy. And, you know, the people from Nigeria come and ask me, what can the government come and do? What can the government come and do? Now, I've stopped saying, because they come in and say, oh, they want to give you, someone was telling me we have 100 million to give the industry. I'm like, bro, 100 million cannot even do one album. What
In
are you
return,
saying,
in return for what?
It's like, I said, take that money, which is what...
It's never free. They want some back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like, the British embassy gets it, even though we know, they get it. They've been doing a lot of training.
Yeah, they have.
You know, we've
And the
spoken
French
to-
embassy as
Yeah,
well.
the French people, and a lot of this, I'm one of those Pan-Africanist people, right? And I worry a lot because when I see the foreigners coming, you know, I've been blacklisted in some places. See, let me tell you. Imagine you are writing the history of this Afrobeats we are talking about, and because a foreigner sponsored that thing, right? That storytelling, they come back to say, remove this person.
Yeah.
This girl, because this girl is saying this thing you are doing is going to affect the whole industry. So I took the heat for it, right? And they came and told, remove this person from this story. They can do that because they have the power to do that.
They have the money.
And that's how they write our stories and control. So now all the big songs, it worries me. Every day I wake up, I sleep, I say, now I cannot even tell my child that you go and sing, do music. I say go and do NFT or something, you know. But so and it's worse. And it's publishing. We have the merchandise industry, which is tied to agric. The agric industry has to figure out textile so that merchandise can work, you know. And it's just like in all side. So for me, it's like our generation. Next year is election.
Yeah.
Our industry has so much power.
Yeah.
And this lobbying you're talking about, we have 321 senators, House of Rep and whatever. There's nobody in there that understands how to make money from IP. So they cannot prioritize the laws that makes... At this point in our life, why is it that we don't have an IP court?
That makes sense.
Foza,
Do you know?
do you know the mistake you're making? I'm sorry to cut you short. You think these guys are not smart. You think they're not intelligent. I want to tell you that none of us here has half what these guys have. These guys had. They know what they're doing.
Yes, but see, that's
Trust
what I
me,
say is the
they
culture
know
thing. Like,
exactly
they don't want the
what
succession.
they are doing. You think they don't know about IP? They know everything.
Guys, we have to come back
believe
to
me.
this conversation because we have to go on a break right now. And we're going to be talking about the Brief for It Academy. The Brief for It Academy is basically TomTom's project that aims to educate and impart knowledge into people, young people who want to know about the music industry. Look forward to it in the next commercial.
Me and my own is just like, you see, hello, hello, Satikot, Satikot, everybody saw God.
Gets clouded, and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, Tum Tum Cooling Breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.
For those who dare to breathe for it. Breathe for It Verse Challenge 2.0 coming soon.
Different stage. Some feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep Tum Tum cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.
For those who dare to breathe for it. Breathe for It Verse Challenge 2.0 coming soon.
Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep Tum Tum cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm. Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded, and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep Tum Tum cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.
For those who dare to breathe for it. Breathe for It Verse Challenge 2.0 coming soon.
Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep Tum Tum cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.
Media with the hashtags Breathe for It Summit, Breathe BFIS 2022. Guys, I'm still here with my guys. The conversation was hot before we left. Foza, Reminisce, or Sags were sort of getting hot while Excel was laughing and Focus was laughing. But I'm going to go to Excel right now as we continue this conversation. In terms of rights, there was a time that Foza used to scream on social media. Shout out to Foza and Iri. They used to scream on social media about
Now I have money.
sign your splits now. People are asking for it. But is the education still reaching the depth of the music industry?
Of course.
If not, how do we move forward and make more people understand their rights?
That's okay. So yes, there has been improvement in terms of education. Shout out to all the court cases on Twitter. Shout out to all the court cases on Twitter and blogs and Instagram. People are more aware. Producers are more. I remember a podcast session. Okay, you were not there. Me and a bunch of producers, myself, Melody, Hassan, a bunch of producers. And there was a producer in the room. And producers were just talking about their experiences, their issues with getting split sheets and whatnot. There was a producer seated on that table that had produced the biggest song in the country at that moment. And throughout the pod, he said nothing. So after I went to meet him, I'm like, "Are you shy?" Because I was doing my best to get him to talk. Are you shy? It was like, "Excel." I did not know anything they were saying. I did not know nothing about splits, about publishing. Like, it's like you just took me to Hogwarts. And I was like,
On your broomstick.
what? I had to introduce him to a lawyer. But I've seen this same guy in recent times. And I was like, hope say, are they collect, man? So I'm like, yeah, people are learning. Yeah. But still, like, when I travel to places, a lot of places, I was in PH. I did 2 weeks in PH for a camp in January. And I was talking with producers there. And producers there were still, like, in a lot of places, they were still finding it hard to, like, get split sheets and publish it, and they are beginning to learn. First of all, there's a lot of information on the internet, right? So if you are really passionate or you really care about your stuff, there's sometimes a lot of music business knowledge that people even form godfatherism on. It's just there on Google, on YouTube. Like, you just didn't bother to
Shots
check,
fired.
and the lack of information has made you a victim of something you could have easily escaped. We need to do more in terms of educating, and that's a job for everybody. Be it producers themselves, be it music execs, be it lawyers. Shout out to people like Foza that were screaming it. Foza was screaming it for years.
Yeah, for years.
Let's take care
For
of our
years.
producers. Let's take care of our producers. Let's teach people stuff. But it's getting better, and it will keep increasing, because look, one thing and it's money. When people have begun to hear the kind of money that is circulating, and they're like, oh, word? What? Word? Like, if you're an artist now and the producer mistakenly here say you've been collect advance, they go knock you bill. So yeah. So before what you were paying was something like, he knows you have collected advance, bros. They need to, let's renegotiate. So money has exposed people, and it's proven, so it will get better.
In the prayer words of a trend about 2 years ago during the lockdown, when an artist and a producer had problems, producer cited a hashtag, no money,
no vibe.
No vibe. So I'm going to talk about the future of. We want to talk about the future of the sound now. Last year we saw like some K-pop guys making Afro beats like Wizkid. Do you guys understand? Like,
yeah,
these guys were making Afro beats like Wizkid, and now we have. Just some days ago, Billboard launched an Afrobeats chart.
Shout out to Beyonce
and Drake. Foza. So, what is the future of the sound? Focus, Ramon. What do you think the future of the sound is?
I think everything that's happening in Nigeria now, I feel like everything just repeats itself, right? Nigeria is Jamaica on steroids. Nigerian culture is going to become regular popular culture. The way you had Nigerians, you have Patoranking, you have Stone Boy from Ghana speaking Patois. Jamaica is a small, tiny island in the Caribbean, but the influence of their culture has been so massive, right? To your dressing, to how we talk, to the point where you have stars in other countries that are doing stuff that
they are doing,
that they did, right? And Nigeria is, bro, our juice is 100 times harder. Our numbers are stupid bigger. Like, what we are going to cause on this planet. But as long as we just do the right things, but the power, the potential is out of this world. I mean, like, everything we've been saying here, with all of these problems that are obvious, that we can identify, right? We're still making a very big splash already. Billboard is making an Afrobeats chart, and we never get. You understand? Like, we still don't have our shit together like that, which we are all working on. Shout out to you, Foza. I met Foza as a student. No, bro, big fan.
Collect your shout out to Foza. Collect your flowers while you're here.
Foza was just a law student, right, in Babcock. You remember?
Yeah, on the streets of Isolo.
You understand? And she was about this shit, and she was about this. Yeah, she's about it, So, like, the more people are. Bro, like, just walk the talk. Do you understand? I don't think we need to be talking too much. We already know what to do. Nigerians, nobody needs telling Nigerians what to do. You know what to do. So when we're already, like, And yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. And bro, we're not going to stop. This thing is going to be massive.
Excel, do you have something to add?
Yeah, just to add to that, I think that the interesting thing about Nigeria is we've always, maybe it was like we've had these moments in the past where Nigerian music really got the world's attention. I mean, I don't need to talk too much about how big Fela was. There's also the case where Bob Marley died and Island Records were like, we need another global superstar, and they signed King Sunny Ade. Like, we've always had that thing with our music that the world wanted to hear. And now it's so crazy because now we're in the internet age.
So it can't be.
You understand? So like a lot of bridges that Fela them couldn't close. You know, they opened the door. They started the work for us, the band and co. They started the work, but now there's the internet. So like I go on Instagram, TikTok, I'm seeing a white person like Alaska dancing Peru or dancing Amapiano. It's so wild. It's crazy, but that's how far the music has traveled. And as far as the quality of music is concerned, we've been doing amazing in that regard. Like, if it means Nigerians taking a sound that's not theirs and running it, shout out to Amapiano, by the way. We've been doing amazing with that. But the future needs to be protected.
That's why
the future needs to be protected, because when you know,
don't get pregnant.
because
future.
Because if we don't control if we don't control the narrative, someone else will control it for us. There was a little ruckus on Twitter when the Billboard thing was announced, and I think was it Billboard that put out an article where they were crediting Beyonce and Drake for the rise of Afrobeats. As much as it will make you feel a type of way, they are pushing their.
It's facts, huh?
They like
Facts.
they are pushing their agenda.
No,
it's facts.
No, it's their platform. Let's
It
talk
is.
it.
It's facts.
These are the people that made this thing more
I mean,
visible.
to
right?
the-
So
to
this
the-
is-
to
Facts,
their- to
bro.
them.
It's facts.
And it's all cool,
And
right?
it's not even bad.
No,
Wherever
I'm not
the
even
wind
saying it's
comes
bad.
from.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I understand what you're saying about the narrative, though, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm very big on narratives, and I learned that from here. Even I got to a certain stage.
But
where
it's still facts, bro.
No, I'm not even arguing again. I'm
Drake,
not even,
Facts only.
Drake, yeah. Facts only. I
Come
mean,
on!
Osage, Drake don't jump on top of Afrobeat since like 2015.
But
I mean, we have to give. Come on,
but
bro. Let's try and
reminisce,
give people credit.
in
Facts.
in your own words,
Yeah.
Whiskey Low help Drake.
Yeah, Whiskey, yeah, Drake, but Drake, yeah, wrong. Well, do you guys own Billboard charts?
No, we don't.
Yeah,
No,
so
we
you have to
don't.
give him some credit, bro.
No, we don't.
I mean-
So I just want our people to like, bro. The phrase Afrobeats did not even come from Nigeria.
Yeah.
That is wild.
You couldn't even name your thing.
So we need to protect our future own narratives more
I think
and tell stories better.
Yeah, I think we're getting.
We're improving.
We're
It's better
bro.
than what it was. We're
Fosa,
improving.
you know what it was like? I mean, everybody here. knows
Fosa
what it
is
was
like you're in the trenches. This guy keeps.
Let's start off from bottom facts. But like as much as we recognize how much work we have to do, I want us to not forget how much we have done. Or I don't want us to forget how much we've done so far. We've done a lot.
Yeah, we've grown.
We've
Facts.
done. We've had a lot of growth, and I feel like the same spirit that pushed that growth, the same spirit that pushes these, that makes us just strive to want to do better and call each other out when we're not doing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only gonna get better. It can only get better. That's what I think.
Guys, so thank you for your contributions.
Me too contribute to.
Hello, guys.
I have something I want to say to Osage and you. This one is going to the two of you.
Okay, no, that's
so
fine.
let me know when it's time for
That's fine. I'm going to shout out to you guys. The opinions that you guys have contributed to this, some fantastic insights. Shout out to Excel, shout out to Fosa, shout out to Sage, shout out to Focus, shout out to Reminisce. But as we've been discussing here, people have also been sending us questions on social media.
Oh wow.
They've been joining the conversation. So the first question that we got is going to Fosa. Coming from someone, shout out to Adebisi Pelumi, says, my question is for Fosa. I agree that GDP is not the industry's responsibility to fix. But would you say the industry has what it takes to enter the streaming tech platform market and compete globally?
Right now, no.
Okay.
It's an extremely capital intensive project that would take another 5 to 10 years for you to break even.
Mm.
So it's right now, no. You know, people, I mean, we have a couple of examples happening in Africa now. You know, as at 3 years ago, 5 of them started, 4 have closed down because of capital. You know, so no, I personally no, I don't think, and I think, to be honest, let the people with deeper pockets fix that problem. Let's fix. You know, there's so many music tech problems that we need to fix. That's a lot cheaper than music streaming platforms, in my opinion. Right now, as the last time I counted, I think we had over 150 music platforms globally. Yeah. You know, so like I'm just like, yeah, that's, you know, let's fix some other problems, you know, going on right now, down to things like how do you for producers, for example, I was in the studio the other day, and this is a production academy, and different people are working on different beats at the same time, and I'm like, how do you log in your work that shows you created this, you wrote, you know, to this demo and stuff, and where do you store it? And I'm looking like, this is such a tech solution. And I was telling them there, I'm like, so if you don't have tech friends that can just quickly come up with something and we can sell it and just make some money, you know, I mean, so for me, I don't think we can enter into the music streaming business right now. It's too expensive, and yeah.
Thank you very much for that, Fuza. Adebisi Pelumi, I hope you got your insight. If you have any more thing to talk to Fuza about, you can hit her up on social media. My next question is going to go to Osage. This person says, how does going viral and streaming convert to money in an artist's pocket, especially now that it all seems fleeting? So I guess what this person is asking is, you are putting a lot of money into trending on social media. How does it convert into money and money in your pocket, into streaming numbers and money in your pocket? There.
I think, you know, it's all about the.
Sorry. But he comes to mind. Like that question, he's the one that comes to mind.
What is it?
So it's the objective or the goal at the end of the day. You know, if you are pushing for virality, is your objective, you know, to increase your streaming numbers, or is it to build your, you know, your social equity or your brand equity? There are different goals why people actually want to go viral. Ultimately, in Nigeria, because access to streaming is still very low, I believe people actually go viral to become more popular, right? To build their social equity, so increase their follower count on the respective social pages, and build the equity to the point where they are now called for shows if they can at least get one song to be popular, just one, right? You are assured. And if you know you're lucky, you did it in Q4. You know that in November, December, you know, they will call you for, you know, everybody does their XYZ live arts, and you know you come for the show and you can run it. We saw something like that happen recently, like just last year, right? Yeah. And so you can get it, and if you're lucky, you can also get sprayed dollars on stage.
Come on,
you know.
Come on.
And so that's why people actually push for virality. So the background to that was because, again, access to streaming is very low. People just want to go for shows. And the more popular you are, the more show promoters want to get you, because if they can put your face on their poster, it means that they will have a larger turnout. So that's why people push for virality.
Thank you very much, Osage. That's a lot of context and insight. My next question is going to Reminisce. This person specifically asked for you. There's a tendency to put... There's a tendency to put African music and African artists in one bucket called world music. What's your view on that?
My view on that, okay, good. This was what I was going to discuss with you earlier, and I'm glad someone has asked this. Now, I've had this discussion with a couple of people, Bankuli, Mr. Yoshonaya, and a lot of, when I say you guys, okay, Osage no day again. Osage na OG now. Osage na retired. So that would be you two. You two now. How do you agree that Afrobeats, it gets subgenres? Like, do you agree? What is Afrobeats to you? What is Afro? Is it beat without S, or wait to be the correct one?
I can actually answer this question.
Thank you very much.
Well. I was chatting with someone.
I'll answer, but I want to hear this one first.
Yeah. So the term Afrobeats was coined, the nomenclature, right, was coined in the UK the reason why that was coined, right, to summarize, to bundle a lot of African music, basically, you know. So whether it was coming from South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, or Kenya, everything was just bundled under one genre called Afrobeats, you know, which is like a pluralization of Afrobeats. It was coined because in the UK, before you can get music into the juggler system, into the system, right, it has to be properly defined. If anything is not properly defined, you can't make it into the system. You can't make it into the system because you can't then describe it properly. You can't chart it. You don't know the shows to play it on. And so you had young, passionate people who wanted to tell African stories. So people like DJ Edu, people like DJ Abrante, right? Then you have, of course, the DJ Abbas and the Adesope Olajides and all that. And these guys were so passionate about selling Nigerian music because they had already seen it happening in the clubs, in the UK clubs. They had seen it happening at the house parties. So how do we get this music on radio? Because people really love it, but they have to go upstairs and tell their white bosses, right? And the white bosses says, okay, so how do you define it? Oh, this is Afro pop today. Oh, this is something pop. It's too many. I don't know. So he said, oh, everything is Afrobeats. Okay, so we then create a system and call it Afrobeats, and then we can create that as a pipeline to throw in all the music in there. Now, the success of that was people could now start enjoying a lot of African music. These African artists could now come, you know, to the UK and sell out the O2, right? And so that is why we're having this. Now, what is going to happen in the next decade, right, is you will then start having an unbundling of these genres again under the Afrobeats. It will unbundle back. It's the same thing with hip-hop, right? Hip-hop was bundled. Everything was hip-hop. Now you have trap. Now you have drill. So naturally, it's going to happen again where the Afrobeats will then unbundle to sub-genres. It's just going to take some time.
It will take time because there's a bit of confusion, you know. I see young rappers trying to say, no, me call, no, Konshe, I only Afrobeats. I'm like, okay. I don't know if you get me.
No,
like, they don't see themselves as Afrobeat artists. They think it's, you know, it's only the pop stars.
Yeah.
Because I told Bankuli this. I said, look, the pop stars, Weez, David, the proper pop stars, Kiss Daniel, WC, those are proper pop stars. Afrobeat, yeah? Okay, Bella, Orishefemi, that's another genre, yeah? Yeah. Correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, then there's Bado, Fino, Zeno, Naimali, that's another genre, yeah?
Yeah.
Then there's the TZ, DRB, whatever, Bodge, Afrobeat, yeah? So what do you mean those things?
Yeah.
That's
I
four,
mean,
four or five
that's
different
like four
sets.
that are off the top. So I mean, there's flavor. Oh, thank you. There's Johnny Drill. There's I mean, you get me. Otin lobby me job, man. So which one is Afrobeat there now? Which one is? I don't know if you get me. So we need to. That's what I was saying. You know, you guys have.
Charity begins at home, basically, because if we start defining it here, right, and everybody's confident enough to say, no, don't describe me as that. This is what, you know, my people say it is. And yeah, I want in my profiles when you or in you know, when you upload my music, everything, this is what is defined
Afrobeat,
as.
yeah.
If you, the problem is that if you cannot tell your own story, people will tell your story for you, and you can't complain how they tell your
Because
story.
my own story, I said we pop rap.
So I want to say,
I don't know if I'm Afrobeat yet, so I don't know hip hop rap. Where's hip hop rap there?
So I want to say that's where the local streaming platform that we have, that's the African #1 music platform, you know, got the people that started it understood this problem, because it's not just, you know, the training. So we had Fuji, Akpala, you know, all that. So the shout out to Oye, shout out to Ire, they sat down and said, you know what, this metadata has to be corrected from now. Yeah. So from the ingestion at the beginning of the music, it was properly it was painstaking work, sitting down, because
you have to define.
For you to arrange metadata, you have to have the lyrics correctly, you have to have the cover correctly, and a lot of our works weren't proper. So it was sitting like converting CDs to you know, and I saw that work, you know, and they'll be like, is this Fuji? Is this Juju? Because there's sometimes bit of, you know, confusion and goes down. So if you check, you know, Boomplay's genre, it's to an extent, you know, properly as a more defined than your Spotify. And now it's interesting because now they are now being, I think, what partnership did they sign? Boomplay and was it the numbers counts towards Billboard now?
Yeah, last
same
year.
thing. And so when I saw the Billboard chart, I said, now the Boomplay and the Audiomack, partnership makes it more interesting, because now once it starts reading, even if it's just them for now, they just see something called, something rap, or they see Fuji, they see Akpala and be like, okay, this is, because for something to become a globally recognized genre, it has to do with volume. It has to do with volume. I was currently on one international awards committee, and we're having this conversation, and they said, guys, I get it, you guys are upset about world music, but the quantity still doesn't match the criteria, which made me now think and say, oh, this Afrobeat, I can understand why Afrobeat became Afrobeat, because from Nigeria alone, it wasn't going to service in terms of quantity. So Africa as a whole, and that's why there's an exponential blowout of Afrobeats, if you think about it, because of the quantity.
It's basically African beats.
Yeah. Then again, about media and narrative, I was so glad when I saw the $2.3 million raised for Tech Cabal, because now it's signaling to say media can be invested in. Right, so you have we have Pulse, you have Native, you have Culture Custodian, you have now these are.
I'm not in Bokpe basically.
What's in Bokpe? So, and it's important because nobody is going to like I said earlier, controlling stories. What now? This genre discussion, it's who is the master at the top saying, if someone at the top of money says, I don't want this story to grow up and close it out. I went to an African country. See, bro, their national TV is, their national TV is their colonial masters TV. You scroll through 10, there's no local channel going on. Everything is in their colonial masters, language, but they feel like they're sovereign.
Fuza.
What's in deep?
What's in deep? But we have to round up. You understand? We really have to round up.
Fuza went dark on us.
Bro, we have to round up.
Dark.
Thank you to everybody that was on this panel, or that has contributed to this panel. Thank you to everybody that contributed online. Thank you to everybody that has watched and found humor and insight and knowledge through this panel. Thank you very much, Excel. Thank you to Foza. Thank you to Osage. Thank you to Focus. And thank you to Reminisce.
Please help us be spiking our drink next time.
Amen.
Okay.
All you need to do is just take Tom.
Put Tom in your
drink. Reminisce. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is still Motolani Alake. Look forward to the Manila Push performance. It's a wrap.
Those who dare to breathe for it. Breathe for It Verse Challenge 2.0 coming soon. For those who dare to breathe for it. Breathe for It Verse Challenge 2.0 coming soon.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded, and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, tum-tum cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm. Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded, and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, tum-tum cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.
Selemasa, Sokosa, Sokosa, Selemasa, Sokosa. Caroline, be asking me how I they make all these people they book out for Caroline. They feeling the sound and the way I they give them the Cocosa, Selemasa. Now Tom they help me, we make me give them the lambao. Anytime when I bring on the mic, the people they confess I they give them the banga. Peru they give me the ginger when I deliver the people they shiva. Now Tom they give me the liver, money boy, Remy boy. Many obstacles man they face. With the make best on the grace. As I dey run my race. Oh mommy no they care disgrace. Make them hate if they want they hate. Oh mommy I no be their meat. Take my ginger to concentrate. Oh my God, to look your face. Enter studio here with pan. You see bedu we go make all of them they joke. Carry my tons off from Pekesi, Kesi bedu they joke. I no come here to play, I no come here to laugh, or I know they joke. The moment I come up for you, everywhere go up with breathe for it, money coming closer. Breathe for it, make me coming closer. Breathe for it, money coming closer. Breathe for it, make me coming closer. Selemasa, Sokosa. I believe one day I'll see all of these things when me want go come my way. Back energy far away. I know be mistake me, I know I'm here to stay. For instance, them no one give you assistance. When friends they turn to resistance. Believe in you, them go give chance. Many things wanna hinder me. I need something we go ginger me. We Tom, I dey breathe for it now, I dey run kilo me. That's why I dey bum, my body dey breathe for it, money coming closer. Breathe for it, make me coming closer. Breathe for it, money coming closer. Breathe for it, let me coming closer. Something, that is something. Bam, boom, I do something, I go do something. I shut it down, the black down me something, down me something. Bam, boom, I do something, I do something. Bam, boom, I do something, I do something. Bam, boom, I do something, I do something. I shut it down, the black down me something, down me something. Bam, I do something, I do something.
For those who dare to breathe for it. Breathe for It Verse Challenge 2.0 coming soon.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded, and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, tum-tum cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.